I did a documentary about the power of music, and it's basically about these two people. One lady, Anita Laska Valfish, she was in a concentration camp, and the only way she survived was because she was a cellist. And she was put in the orchestra, which ultimately saved her because she could get privileges, and she also saved her sister from doing the hard labor of the camp.
This is my grandpa Joe Carrick. This is him in the prisoner of war camp in 1943. So I did it on my great grandpa on my dad's side because he fought in the war, and most people didn't really realize that lots of Africans actually fought in the war. So he actually got caught, captured in Tobruk in 1943 and got taken to a prisoner of war camp for, I think, 2 years.
A gas chamber was the most deadly weapon during World War II. Kept in concentration camps, it was a much cheaper and efficient way of killing people, as shooting by firearm was way too expensive. And as you see, with a tiny little squeezer for pump at the back here, fresh water vapor comes out. The actual gas was called Zyklon B, which was the deadliest gas at the time.
This is the concentration camp of Auschwitz-Birkenau, where they held and exterminated most of the Jews. This is the women's camp. This is the experimental.
This is the USS Franklin aircraft carrier. It was an aircraft carrier in 1943, and actually the attack on Pearl Harbor was launched from this aircraft carrier.
This is my great grandfather over here. This is my grandmother over here. And this is the timeline of his life until the present. And he fought in World War I and in World War II, even though he was too old to fight in World War II. He had stomach ulcers and he was too old. But he got the Iron Cross in both World Wars and got a special award for that. This is the last letter he wrote to his family. And this is a zoomed in timeline of their searches to try find him after he died in the war. He was a medic and he wasn't technically allowed to be killed, but he was. And they struggled to find his body, and only 20 years later, after his death, did they find really where he was.
My project is about the espionage and the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. So it's about the spies during World War II and how they would gather and collect information from political leaders or countries to use the information against other countries or other agencies. I have examples of different spies of Virginia Hall, Noyat Khan, Coco Chanel, who was actually a Nazi spy. And then I have Special Operation Executive. This was an Allied spy agency from the British side. This is the Allied agency from the American side that later became the CIA today. And then this is Operation Minced Meat. It's an intelligence operation where they dressed up a dead body to trick the Nazis, and it was successful because instead of going to invade Italy, the Nazis went to Greece, and the Allies were able to get the Italy.
This is a model of Unit 731, which is Japan's secret biological warfare experimentation lab. It was run by General Shiro Ishii, who was obsessed with using diseases in war because he thought it would be the easiest way to gain power over the East.
So the bomb that was dropped was the Little Boy. It was the first nuclear weapon, and after the bomb dropped, it killed people instantly, killing over 7,000 people. Over here you can see a paper crane, which symbolizes peace, and it is sent to Hiroshima after the bomb hit.
So for my project, I made the food from the concentration camps. So over here we have the soup that they ate for lunch, and we have what they had for breakfast, which is just coffee and burnt leaves, and we have the dinner, which is just bread and watered down jam and sometimes margarine.
Okay, so these are World War II carrier pigeons. They were World War II's postal service back in the day. So this pigeon, we released him here earlier at school today. 3 minutes and 15 Ks, very, very fast. On average, they fly about 70 to 90 Ks an hour. Top speed, they can reach about 120 Ks. So this pigeon over here, G.I. Joe, won the Dickin Medal. He saved thousands of lives in World War II from a bomb. He flew 32 Ks in 20 minutes. We have the different types of coops. I've built the mobile pigeon coop. And then we have the pigeon box drop, which was dropped from aeroplanes in claimed area by the Allies. And then these are the war vehicle pigeon coops. This was on the mobile war vehicles. They were used if it was easy enough to get them to a closer space.
So it is a VT Fuse. It's an anti-aircraft round that is timed on we call it a beat note. So it picks up the frequency of the airplane when it's launched from the ground. Picks up the frequency of the airplane, and it gets to a certain range. It then detonates. It sends from the electrolyte that then gets broken because of the centrifugal force. That gets broken, goes into the layers of the battery. That creates a normal battery as we know it. And the beat note gets through, and at the top is a globe that has got a low pressure gas. And when it gets to a certain range, it sends a spark through the globe, which then sets off the gas, and then the whole tip itself explodes into a cloud of shrapnel.